Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. I'm guessing you're doing well now, right? So after that second half and those last 45 minutes, everyone's a little bit more relieved, right? Okay, because the game started off in a very, very weird way, but it ended with a result, a good one at that. And it basically means that the second leg is going to be a formality, which is what it should be, right? It's what it should be. I said this before and I'll stick to it. I do not expect Chelsea to have a seriously tough time until the final if we're playing Real Betis. Or I have it on good authority that it's Real Betis. Yeah? If you're Spanish and you're from Betis, you say Betis. Or if you're Spanish and you try to say Real Betis, we say Betis because we're English and we kill every language. But any Spanish people want to let me know in the comments, Real Betis. Yeah? Am I right or am I right? Let me know. But that's the sort of team where I go, okay, you know what? We might have a problem. Might, right? This, I'll be honest, I mean, and you all saw the crowd, right? You saw the fans today. I mean, shout out to the fans. For me, the fans were man of the match. The Legia Warsaw fans today were absolutely magnificent. I mean, that was incredible. I was recognizing what songs they were singing. I was like, this is amazing. You know, they were singing Rivers of Babylon. I was like, yo, you lot are cultured people. This is good. They were singing that New Year's song. I forgot the title now. I wrote it earlier on. They were singing all sorts, so you could tell the rhythm. I was like, oh, okay. They were just jumping up and down, the whole stadium bouncing. I mean, it was good. It got them through the first half. Let's just say that. Because that first half was absolutely abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. Second half, much, much better. With the changes that were made, much better. But there's two things. Two things that I want to start off with. Firstly, in the end, Madueke technically rested quite a lot of players. Well, why did he not play them against Brentford? Or why did he not start? There's going to be some people that say, but he explained in the press conference, you know, it's just to manage some minutes. Yeah, okay, cool. I don't buy it, but cool. Let's say it is. Then why not start them? And then take them off? Put your best team on the pitch, set the tone, try and get the goal, try and get two, then you've got yourself some luxury. Then you can take some players off. You've set the tone, you've allowed the opposition to get themselves into a bit of a pickle. At that point, it gets a little bit shaky, yeah? For them, not for us. Give us the best opportunity to go out and get points. What? It's the worst thing when the opposition start getting confidence, they start booming, all of a sudden they're playing well, then you bring on players and then you can't manage because now you're playing them at their best. Like, no, why allow them to get to that moment in the first place? People are just going to think, nah, but it's just the way that the game goes. It's like, no, there's a mental aspect to this as well. I would rather try and shoot the confidence out of my opponent than to allow him to get it in the first place. Somehow that's become a bit of a problem now. If I say something like that now, apparently that's wild. In 2025, that's a wild thing to say now. Unbelievable. Take me back to 2012. Please. Someone please put me in a time machine and send me back. Because this is wild. Yeah, football is footballing, but it's footballing for the worse at this point because I think there are some fans that lack just... I don't understand. I don't get what... I don't even know what the vocabulary I'm looking for. We rested, well, I say rested. In the game against Brentford, we eventually brought on those players for like 20 minutes. They couldn't even get into the rhythm of the game. Why? They didn't have enough. They didn't have long enough. I would rather them start. Today, those players that were rested didn't start. I'm like, Madueke, what are you doing? What are you doing? Now, there are a couple of guys that I'm absolutely okay with them resting tonight. And that's Caicedo and Enzo. 100%. Especially Caicedo. He's played every minute of every game of every of the season, right? absolutely fine. He gets minutes where he gets to relax today. I'm cool with that, because the last thing you need is him to get injured, right? So that's fine with me. But we didn't start Cucurella against Brentford. Some say, all right, Colwell was dropped. Fair enough. Colwell hasn't been playing well. Okay, that's cool. But Cucurella wasn't playing. You know, we didn't start Palmer. We stuck Nkunku up top. Jackson is the one that we've all been waiting for. He didn't start. He comes on against Brentford. Nothing really happens. We're like, okay, well, he's rested him for tonight then. Nope, didn't play. Didn't play. Now, that's the first half. Because in the second, well, the first half, I mean, the team that started off that first half, you could just tell on paper, it's like, okay, this is going to be a long night, right? And it was. Nothing happened. The first half, nothing happened. Like, literally nothing happened. The commentator said it himself. If you had to try and get a highlight reel from that for the first half, you would end up with nothing. 45 minutes of nothing. Legia were basically just trying to hit us on a counter-attack, and fair play. We know that's all they can do. We knew that. And they almost did twice. But the second half, substitutions made. Madueke comes on. My mind's gone blank. I've got the Tyrique George goal in my mind. That's why I'm thinking, hang on. Madueke came on. The Tyrique George goal, by the way, I'm very, very, very happy for. Very, very happy for, because his first senior goal for Chelsea. I'm always like really, really, there's a special feeling when it's someone from Cobham and they get their first goal, and it's, you end up really happy for them. So big up to Tyrique George, fantastic. Colwell was brought on with Noni Madueke. Tosin was taken off. Cole Palmer was taken off. Madueke was brought on. Cole Palmer tonight. And not just Cole Palmer. I mean, everyone in the first half looked completely like they were, 6 hangovers in. But Cole Palmer, you can see, not even he couldn't get any blend going. The first half was a pure illustration as to why now fans are getting frustrated with Enzo Maresca. Simple as that. It's not direct anymore. We always go backwards. We always go sideways. When we, look, numerous times in that first half, we got the ball in a pocket. In a pocket. A beautiful area of space. We've beaten the first line. Technically. Player receives the ball, they're already in front of the first line of defense that Legia Warsaw have. What does that player do? And it happened numerous times. Turn, find the first player backwards, pass backwards, and then start passing between the two centre-backs. I'm like, what is going on? Why? You get the ball to the wings. Chance for a winger to take the ball and penetrate the space. Nope. Takes time, wastes time, allows the opposition to get into position, looks back, passes back. I don't understand. And this is game in, game out, by the way. It's atrocious, and I don't know why. But this is what is getting fans looking at the system and thinking we are becoming way too robotic. And it's completely true. We have become robotic. We've become very predictable as well. Which is why whenever we play big teams, my confidence is shot. Because we are so easy to read. If you have a team that has enough physical and technical ability, all you have to do is read our game and it's done. You've got us in the pocket because we are so easy to read. We know it's so easy to tell where we're going. Now, there's some players like tonight. Malo Gusto was having a bit of fun on his side. Why? Because he was just much faster than his opposition. He was just physically, he was just so much more faster. So for the other geezer to try and keep up with him was a problem. It's just a problem. It's not going to happen. You can read the game as much as you want, but if you haven't got the physical attributes to cope, you can't cope. But when you're playing top teams in the Premier League, they have it. Even average teams in the Premier League, they got some of it. So they cause you a shock. We are so easy to read. It's so easy to tell where we're going. And that is a problem. That is a big problem. And there seems to have been a pattern. As the season's gone on, we've become more robotic and we've become slower. As the season's gone on, we started off the season, it was a little bit like trying to find out what's going on, and then it shot up and it looked really good. And then since its peak, it's just been week in, week out, week in, week out, week in, week out, week in, week out, week in, week out. because we're looking more and more predictable, more robotic and slower. Sancho is a clear example. Right? Clear example. Tyrique George, straight after the substitutions were made, managed to get the goal. Ball gets cleared, Reece James hits it on the volley, second half begins, hits it on the half volley, sorry. Good save from the goalkeeper, lives right into the path of Tyrique George, who was put up front because Nkunku looked absolutely dreadful. And that's another one. I mean, I'll come to Nkunku in a bit. Very, very good goal from Tyrique George. I'm very happy for him. But straight after, we got the Noni Madueke goal, courtesy of Sancho. Actually, both the Madueke goals were assists from Sancho. But prior to that was the miss of the penalty from Nkunku. Nkunku's has got to be sold now, isn't he? I mean, it's done. I mean, tonight was a low. An individual low for Nkunku. A real individual low. That was poor. Really poor. So now just looking at Nkunku, I'm like, you don't want to be here. You're not happy at all. Your game is in the mud. It's in the sewers at this point. Poor penalty. Poor attempt of a penalty. Easy save for the keeper to make. Luckily, immediately afterwards, 30 seconds later, Madueke gets the goal. Good ball into the middle of the box from Sancho, and then which Sancho does well sometimes. He's able to find the man to pass to, but that's it. But Madueke getting himself into the spaces he did was a courtesy of someone that actually wants to take a little bit of initiative. And this is what I have to praise him for. Sometimes he doesn't execute at the very end, but he's always wanting to go direct, and he's always wanting to attack, and he's always wanting to get past defenders, and he's always looking forward. And that is something right now that you just have to praise, because no one else in the team wants to do it. But it almost seems like it's a systematic thing, and sometimes you just have to, as a player, take a bit of an individual instinct, should I say, and just go for it. Because if not, we ain't doing anything. So, respect to Madueke. Got those 2 goals. Good impact after he'd come on. And going back to the initial point, with players rested, with a 3-0 win now, yes, it's worked out. Jackson, Cucurella had a little bit of game time. We saw at the very end, like for the last... Cucurella played for half an hour. Then we had Matissa Mugu and Mueka come on for Tyrique George and for Malo Gusto. The other players have all been rested. They didn't have to play tonight. So, I'm going to say this. From Ipswich on Sunday onwards, I want to see our strongest team. No more resting. No more fugazis. I don't want to see any more experimenting. Anymore. Look, we are in the thick of it now. It's the run-in towards the end of the season. It's game in, game out. We need our best players there. Tough. They have to play if they're available. End of story. So let's wait and see what happens on Sunday against Ipswich. But apart from that, good end to the game. Like I said, tragic first half, horrible. Don't go back and watch those highlights. Just watch it from 45 minutes onwards. You might have something to watch. And no more experimenting. Now we need rhythm. We need games together in terms of the same players, the same group, some sort of rhythm, and we need to release some of the players, allow them to move forward and allow them to take some risks. We aren't taking enough risks. Tonight would have been a good opportunity to, even though with the 3-0 win, we could have got more. If we were a little bit more bold and a little bit more in their faces, I reckon we could have ended up leaving with 6. But we're not doing that. It would have been a good chance to be able to get some of that rhythm going tonight, whilst it doesn't really mean too much. Against Ipswich on Sunday, I'm sorry, but 3 points are 3 points. Every game matters. But I want to see our best team now every game, please. Because if not, like I said before, if you can't play your best team every single game now up until the end of the season out of fear, then how in the hell are you going to manage the Champions League? It's not going to happen. So start doing it now. Start prepping. Start showing these young players what a schedule like that actually feels like. Because next season, if we want to play Champions League, they're going to have to deal with that for the entire season. Not just for this part where we had an A team and a B team for the first half of the season. We need to get all those things in motion. See, this is why having leadership in the team and having experience helps a lot, but we ain't got that. So we're having to ultra protect and think out of fear. It's bonkers. But for me, the compromise is every game now, our best team, please. And whoever needs to come on, if someone needs to come off for a little bit, they need to come off, cool, no problem. But start our best team every game. That's all I ask. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. 3-0 win, like I said. Now, it does allow flexibility for the second leg. For the flexibility now, we do get to go to the second leg at the bridge and just see with a result like this, we can think about managing minutes and resting. But when the games are important and the job has to be done, no. That's the example I want to set for you guys. So let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new one. Subscribe, notification bell on. Catch all of you tomorrow. In a bit, people. Look after yourselves. Take care and peace.